session of the Chesney Chambers reading series, our penultimate voice. Tonight we're going to be reading Robert Patrick's Sound. So thanks for being here. Before I forget, I would like to cordially invite you all to Zuni's afterwards for fun and frolic with the cast and your friends. A couple announcements before we start. November is a really busy month for us here at Tassos, so mark your calendars. Next weekend, on the 2nd, we have company member Jeremy Lawrence is going to be doing a performance of his one-person show. He'll be here at Ripley Greer. I believe the details are in your program. The week after that, November 8th, company member Stephen Fales is going to be doing his new one-person show. Again, I believe the details are in your program.
Missionary position.
What?
Missionary position.
Right. That's the title. It'll be here on the 8th. And then on the 15th is our final Chesney Chambers here at Ripley Greer. And I happen to book that one in. So, so it'll be here on the 15th. And then in December, Bro Cones and Sophie comes too on the 15th. And then in December, we open Chris Weichel's Pigtail, co-production with and I think that's about it. So if you could just take a quick second to turn off your cell phones and pages. I believe that's it. All right. Sound by At rise, Franz, the perfect butler, stands in the middle of the floor, holding a stopwatch. From the wings steps the narrator.
Okay, the curtain rises, or the lights come up, or all the actors just take their places. Anyway, the play begins. Good evening, everyone. This is all stuff I made up while I was sitting in the dust in a backyard in Roswell, New Mexico, contemplating God and stars. Sometimes my thoughts would take over and think themselves, you know what I mean. The God of Roswell was Jehovah and his son Jesus. But I was thinking about old-time Greek and Roman gods like I read about in Bullfinch and Edith Hamilton. And the stars of Roswell were John Wayne and Marilyn Monroe. But I was thinking about the stars from when my mom was young, the ones that couldn't talk. I could make people laugh by imitating the way John Wayne and Marilyn Monroe talked, but no one would have known that I was doing it if I imitated the way the silent stars talk. Like my mama sometimes imitated them for me. None of my schoolyards have ever seen the silent stars, see. Those stars have been bigger than stars, as big as the moon and the sun in the sky, but they've been forgotten. Nobody worshipped them anymore. Sometimes when I played in the dust, the Greek and Roman gods would come riding by in chariots of gold and ivory, all aglow and alive. And sometimes the silent stars would appear up out of the dust, them and their mansions and their cars and their parties, and it would be like this. That's Franz. He is the perfect butler of this perfect palatial mansion in the Hollywood Hills. He's directing lots of masked and very discreet servants, setting up for a big old party. This is the great main hall for dancing and dining. There's a grand stairway for entrances. Those are all statues of different gods from different faiths. There's a piano, and there's lots of big potted plants to hide behind for love affairs or nervous breakdowns. Downstage here, you'll have to surf for a big old terrace that you can see all of Hollywood from. And here in the wings, you'll have to do for a little library statuette of a mounted cowboy, the banquet swimming pool with colored lanterns, and later on, a tiny dark bar with a Polynesian motif. And offstage would be the massive, mysterious grounds of Ford's estate, just about as big as the princedom she married into on her first ship to Europe, and has just managed to divorce her way out of it. I think that's enough for now.
Enough! Everything is in place. The hour approaches, the minute approaches. Away with all of you, now!
Franz waves one hand and glorious music begins. He looks up the grand staircase and extends his other hand, and down the staircase, beautiful, pale, beautiful, small, beautiful, vivacious, beautiful, beautiful glory it descends, in a silver sequin dress that doesn't cover a whole lot more than a huge old diamond necklace does. She drags a white feather fan as big as she is.
Madam.
Is it time, Franz?
It is time, madam.
Everything is perfect?
Everything is perfect, madam.
Everything must be perfect. An important event in human history will take place here tonight. What are climatic conditions?
Madam will be pleased to observe from the terrace.
Franz, the night is radiant.
Thank you, madam.
Nothing that we see is natural, Franz. Los Angeles was built by human will, human imagination upon a deadly desert. And do you know why? Because the climate here is suitable for stars. Stars grow here. The first new stars in 1 trillion years. Oh, moon, wait till you see the stars that I have gathered here tonight.
From an evil doorbell rings. Franz speeds away up the stairs to answer it. Gloria basks for a moment in the spotlight of the moon, then wheels decisively and enters the ballroom. Down the stairs behind Franz comes Bill, an older man, lean and taciturn, wearing a big old Stetson hat, a western-cut tuxedo, and lots of honorary medals and chains. And Mary, an older woman, still real vivacious, in a matronly gown, bedecked with out-of-date jewelry, her gray hair in a very short cut like my mama called Marcel's.
Bill, Mary, the king and queen of Hollywood, you honor my humble home.
Now get up, Glory. You're the royalty here.
No, I divorced him. But with you here, I do feel at least a princess of moving pictures. Take my arms and enter the ballroom.
Oh, dear Gloria, don't talk that way. My poor dear Doug used to talk that way toward the end.
And he was right. We are royalty.
Oh, Doug went way past that. When Doug Jr. played one of his father's old roles, Doug didn't call it treason.
No.
No, he called it heresy.
They all laugh, and Mary shakes her head vivaciously.
What kind of reviews did young Doug get?
Well, appropriately enough, he got crucified.
Mary shakes her head again.
Oh, I must stop shaking my head when I laugh. I don't have those long, golden, girlish curls anymore.
Lord God, Glory. You young stars build them like pharaohs in Egypt did. How big is this place?
Big enough that Mr. Griffith could have filmed his spectacles here. Big enough to swallow intolerance. Ha! Yes! Big enough to produce the birth of a nation.
Gloria, dear, you seem a little feverish.
I have a great announcement to make later. That's all. Please enjoy the house. I hear a car approaching.
Darn, I wish she hadn't brought up old D.W. Griffith.
I know. That poor thing, stuck in the East making those tiny little movies. I wonder if Gloria realizes how fast a star can fall. Say, Bill, why is a director like a blind man?
I don't know, Mary, why?
Because he's lost without spectacles. Oh, I've got to stop doing that.
Gloria waits at the foot of the stairs. Down them come Eric, a ferociously dignified and aristocratic, meticulously masculine man in flawless evening wear, and May, an absurdly pretty blonde in a feathered headdress, concealing some voluminous costume under a great black velvet cloak.
Eric, you are the only man on earth more dignified than my butler.
Always your servant, Gloria.
How was I clever enough to persuade you to leave the set of The Merry Widow?
The Merry Widow has unfortunately come to a halt.
Gloria!
A screeching halt. You know, babe.
Of course. May and I and Paula, we were all bathing together.
I get a costume!
Franz takes May's cape, revealing her near-nude beauty, decorated extravagantly in white egret feathers. Combined with her chalk-white makeup, bouquet-like mound of platinum pearls, and her dangling diamond jewelry, her eternal agitation makes her look like a delicate, fragile knot, no matter how silly and screechy she sounds.
Eric, The Merry Widow must be amazing.
Amazed originally meant paralyzed. In that sense, the Merry Widow is amazed. May, do you hear the music?
No.
Do you hear the champagne bubbling?
No.
Of course you do. Go find the music and the champagne. Imagine that you are in Vienna.
I keep telling you, I've never been to Vienna.
Then think of the simulated Vienna on Sound Stage 23, where we have kept 1,000 extras working overtime for weeks. Go in there and imagine that you are the Merry Widow.
I've been trying to. Eric gives her a look that would quiet a mad bull.
Eric, you and May.
What is left of me? What is left of May? Come, let me look at you. My little tomboyish darling has become a supernova.
Has anyone actually ever seen a supernova?
I and two other wise men 1900 years ago in Bethlehem.
In the vast old ballroom, Bill and Mary stroll, examining the colossal decor.
I wonder why poor little Gloria is so het up. This here house is too new to be haunted.
Maybe it's living here alone since she took her prince back to Europe.
These kids spend everything. They think they'll be making them big salaries forever.
Oh, be quiet with your pessimism. Here comes that poor May Murray.
May enters the ballroom, clutching herself as if cold and frightened. She stops and stares at Bill and Mary. They raise their glasses to her. She shivers.
Eric, I need everything to be perfect. Tell me what's wrong.
Ah, nothing actually. Only the Merry Widow, which does not exist yet.
Is that why May is...
Why me? The studio gave me a marshmallow to direct. I am filling their sugar cake with venom.
They say it's already the most expensive picture ever made.
Absurd to concern themselves with that when our work plays on every continent.
Yes, but something is wrong.
Yes, at the heart of my poisonous confection is a tart.
May.
It should have been
Alas, the studio reserves me for lovesick princess pictures.
you. Yes, so it has become necessary to transform May.
Well, if anyone can do it, surely you...
I hate what I am having to do to her. No one ever asked the pumpkin if it wished to become a golden coach.
May stands trembling in the trembling shadows of a great potted plant. Mary and Bill approach her.
Little May. My, don't you look all grown up.
You and hiding there.
Wild Bill! You're Wild Bill!
Well, I ain't my stand-in.
Whatever is wrong, dear?
I've been working, been being overworked very hard. Eric wants so much of me, more than anyone has ever wanted before.
Yeah, it's getting harder to figure out what the people want.
No one could be all that he wants of me. It's horrible. He peels you like an onion. He removes what you pretend to be, what you think you really are. He even removes what you really are, and then promises to turn you into something else. Something only he knows, if he even knows it. I'm half dead, half completed. I've disappeared. It's a horrible way to be.
Well, I always say an honest day's work for an honest $10,000.
And then, all of a sudden, the entire mansion shakes with earthquake.
Wait!
Eric, darling, I have the cutest joke. Why is a director like a blind man?
Because he cannot see the mere real world, Mary. Only the dream. He must make others see.
Oh, that's not funny.
It is the greatest joke in the world. Because the world then sees what the director dreamed and believes that it is real. And stumble around in the real world as if in darkness.
You sound too much like Doug. He thought he was more important than priests and politicians.
Easily. What do priests and politicians have? Words. Mere words. But we, thank God.
Nobody but you and me notice that acts the word God and listens real attentively to Eric's speech.
We do not bother with words. We present a living, moving world. The real world imitates it. When you, Mary, skipped and dimpled across the screen, mothers turned to their daughters and asked, "Why can't you be like that?" Then you, Bill, rode across the desert. Boys in the towns built over that desert saw the possibility of heroism. America is a creation of the worldly screen.
Oh, Eric, I don't know.
I know. You were happy if the people liked you, and the studio paid you. I will show the people their world as it really is, a masterpiece of greed and corruption.
But Eric, if people really imitate pictures, won't pictures like that only make them worse?
Nothing could make them worse than they are. Apes who follow the studio's patriotic path and run to war.
But if you make Americans cynical, they'll get beat by other countries.
There are no other countries. Film has made the whole world depend on me for extremes. I have humbled the kings. Now I shall humble the true rulers of the world, the studio bosses.
A Midland little earthquake shakes the room.
That was but the Earth settling into its new orbit.
The musicians strike up a new triumphant tune.
Champagne! Champagne for the king of the new world.
And it's ravishing.
No offense, Eric. You see, I have already been royalty. I'm aiming higher now.
You were, after all, really a princess. You were never difficult to direct before, Gloria.
Forgive my treason, sire. I have loftier ambitions.
Marry another nobleman from dear old daughter in Europe.
Europe may not be doddering anymore, Eric.
If it showed any signs of life when you were there, Gloria, it was only a second childhood.
A second childhood or rebirth?
Is this a puzzle? I am puzzled already. This is such a schmorty for the queen of cinema to throw. By now there should be limousines in the swimming pool, starlets swinging from the chandelier.
I am not intimidated because you remember my childhood games, Your Majesty. I was, after all, only imitating your films.
Statues of Buddha, Mithra, Athena, Kali. You brought back more from Europe than your prince.
I went there thinking that I could find and buy culture.
And instead you found rot?
No, I found heaven.
I'm glad you enjoyed your prince, of course.
Oh, you fool, Eric. Wherever I went in Europe, do you know what they were talking about?
The next war to end all wars, to end wars, to end wars?
No, no. Wherever I went, the people cried, "Gloria! Gloria!" They cried it in museums, temples, "Gloria!" and in cathedrals.
It is charming to see you discovering your fame and flowering into an egotist. You must insist on a raise.
Is that all you think has happened to me?
The studio hid from you the extent of your popularity. Of course you are loved. You were made for love. Remember, I made you.
Eric, only listen. You said Bill and Mary reached all of America, but Eric, that's barely the beginning.
You are feverish, darling.
Oh, Eric, how can I make you hear? Out there are millions of people. They call themselves French, Moroccan, English, Eskimo.
Gloria pauses dramatically before a huge old tapestry depicting the fall of the Tower of Babel.
10,000 years ago, they all spoke one language and assembled to build a great tower to heaven. And God grew jealous and struck them with the curse of languages. And they misunderstood and went to war. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was war.
Rest, Gloria, rest.
But something new has come into the warring world. We have been given the greatest force forced to come into that world since the warlike babble of sound, the universal wordless silent scream. We have the power to unite the world, make the world one.
Gloria, as anyone who had an alien bomb dropped on him from his homeland sky in our late war could tell you, airplanes had already made the world one. That is one of the two great secrets of our time.
And the other?
It takes only one generation to destroy all the civilization of the past.
Or create, recreate and possibly perfect it.
If May could see your face right now, she could play my video
Yes!
tomorrow.
My face, my instrument with which I could parts of humanity.
You look as you did when we were lovers, back at the dawn of time. Come, dance with me.
Oh yes, yes, I want to dance with you. Franz, tell the orchestra to begin the tango.
Franz, surprised, raises an eyebrow.
Yes, now!
The tango, yes, that tango. Yes, now.
You do tango.
The tango is an ancient dance of conquest and seduction.
It is new to Hollywood.
Everything is new to you ignorant American children.
Eric laughs. Music begins, an exquisite tango, and they dance. Bill and Mary can't tango and wander to the library. The dance is choreographed to express Gloria's growing seductiveness and Eric's increasing fascination with her idea. Franz answers the telephone. He unplugs the phone and brings it into the ballroom.
Madam, it is the stage for you.
Oh, Jack? I thought he was at a premiere.
Gloria starts to leave the floor. Eric whirls her back into his arms.
No! The hearts of the world are wailing. Gloria! Gloria! Make your master wait.
They stand poised, Gloria almost on the floor in a classic tango dip.
Tell Jack I am unavailable.
Yes, madam. Madame is unavailable.
Franz walks away with the phone.
You see, you may dismiss your master. He is in fact your slave, as all men are, my darling.
And they dance. And oh, can they dance.
Do you like the tango?
Don't use foolish words.
No, I mean this particular piece of music. Do you like it?
It is beautiful, ravishing.
I had it composed just for tonight.
I see. In honor of some young and handsome guest who has yet to come,
In honor of the man who has made the tango the heartbeat of the world.
you mean that Rudolph Valentino boy? I begin to see. So, ye are all dolls to decorate your seduction.
You understand nothing.
Aren't you beyond flirtations with actors?
You were an actor once. Have you forgotten?
I had forgotten nothing.
They dance, swept up in a spell of remembrance, a romance that must have been real intense.
That Valentino boy.
Oh, Gloria, don't fall over the latest Adonis.
That Valentino boy, that latest Adonis, danced a tango in a film. The next day, the world broke out in tango music. He has suddenly become a star, the greatest male star.
They come and go. I remain forever.
He became a star sooner than I expected. I've had to rush my plan.
Your plan.
Eric, listen to me.
Gloria, speak to me.
His film glorified war.
The French called war la gloire, the glory. Gloria.
He tangos, they tango. He glorifies war, they war.
He died in the film, disillusioned about war.
They will be disillusioned. They will die. They will imitate him.
Boys always die in war. He will make them feel romantic about it. Gloria, this is great tango.
Eric, come with me. Listen to me. Come with me out to the star-struck terrace. Here, now. Eric, you talk of priests and politicians and employers. You say we have replaced them.
I have replaced them.
You can't do without us. Astrologers say the stars command humanity.
Another ancient art unworthy of you.
Then what do you say to science? Science, too, says the stars command us. Every particle of matter in the universe attracts and is attracted by every other particle with a force directly proportionate to their mass and inversely proportionate to the distance between them.
Elementary physics.
But it confirms the astrologers. Bodies alter one another's courses, and the greater and nearer they are, the greater their force.
Irrefutably.
Well, we are the stars nearest to the human race.
Gloria, you have gone beyond a fever into a storm.
Ride the storm with me. Eric, we dance, and the next day the world dances. We war, and the world wars. Think only if we knew what we were doing.
Anyone who knew what he was doing would soon die of shame.
We can make of them anything we will. You want only to defeat the masters with their game, make the mobs as cynical as you. You think so small.
Tell that to the studio bookkeepers.
You want to be a king? We are kings already. We stand here on our balcony like royalty reviewing the troops.
But no troops, Gloria, no forces below.
Above, Eric. Above. We can command the very stars in their courses.
Gloria,
Leave behind the quest to be king. Aim for something more.
what more?
Eric, we can be, and I say this with all gravity, we can be gods.
The music stops.
The tango has ended.
The world imitates us. They dance as we dance, dress as we dress, kill as we kill. They even imitate us when we kiss.
She kisses him. New music plays inside. The kiss is long.
Gloria, this is insane.
It would be insane if it weren't. How are we different from gods?
We don't live forever.
Film is light. Light lives forever. When idols of stone and gold have cracked and melted, our shadows will teach humanity how to live forever.
Gloria, what are you up to?
I want to announce the greatest of all human actions. I want to perform Camille.
Camille. That tired old sentimental war horse. Gloria. Camille. That's been done to death.
Never! It has never been done. Who is Camille? A mere whore who becomes a saint? No! She is the human soul which climbs from the lowest love to the highest. It is a story every religion is tried to tell. If you tell it with words, it is trite and sentimental. Film is the way. No language lies. We can show the souls of the world how to rise, and they will imitate us. We have the means. We have the mission. We have the audience. We have, God knows, the star.
And what are we waiting for?
The studio will never let me do it. I need backing. I need a great director. And to make this myth of love absolute, I need the perfect object. I need Valentino.
Reach out and take him then. Who cares?
He has become a star. He must be persuaded.
Make him an offer.
I must offer him everything.
So, do.
Do you understand what I am asking?
I will direct, of course.
Oh, Eric!
It will be the greatest picture ever made. Of course, it must come from me. Shall we rejoin your guests?
Then I may use your name to secure back.
You have only to tell them it will be great. They will assume my participation.
It will be more than great, Eric. It will be the New Testament.
You are quite mad.
Then why don't you reject me?
Mad women make the most radiant stars. That is why I am driving May mad. When will you approach this Valentino?
He will be here tonight.
I will take a look at him to see if he will do for my masterpiece.
Gloria, shocked and amused by Eric's colossal golf, watches him walk away and, despite herself, laughs. She wanders through the room to spy on Bill and Mary in the library, where just now, Bill is admiring a Frederick Remington sculpture of a cowboy on a bucking bronco.
Now that's what I call art.
Shame they don't make westerns anymore.
Oh, they will. Of course, it'll be too late for me. I suppose I'll be making charming little girl pictures again, too.
Way too late for me. Oh, Bill, where does it go? All that wild, youthful clawing for fame and attention.
For money, you mean?
Well, money's just what you're left with, if you're lucky.
Well, you've been plenty lucky.
Well, so have you old coot. You fairly jangle with it.
Yeah, hell, I'd jangle without it.
And of course, I have my charities.
So yeah, me too, charities.
I can never decide if the charities bore me, because I hate to let go of the money.
Or because you know all the money in the world won't soak up half the misery.
If only there was something a person could do that would save the world.
Make a whopping profit!
Won't you ask me in? A vampire can't enter a house unless he's invited.
Hell, Gloria, you ain't no vampire.
You're a princess.
Now, Pola was Zavant.
Now, don't mention Pola, Bill. You know she and Gloria don't speak.
Nonsense. Pola and I were always the best of friends.
Who? The princess and the vamp?
Kiss me, my fool!
Hey, you two kids should act. But seriously, I am the vampire tonight. I'm here to do what vampires do. Suck your life's blood and make you immortal. Sit down, won't you? Let me tell you my plan.
Intrigued, Bill and Mary sit down and lean in closer to hear Gloria's sales talk. In the ballroom, a doorbell rings. Franz looks at his watch and frowns. Clearly, nobody else acted tonight. He goes to the foot of the stairway. Down it comes Dorothy, a petite, pretty brunette carrying an Art Deco cocktail shaker, and Noel, a suave Englishman carrying nothing but his genius. They are in considerably more casual clothes than the stars are.
Now, don't break out any Sunday weapons for us. We're just folks.
Miss Swanson, you've grown lovelier with the years.
With complete aplomb, Noel and Dorothy descend to the floor, followed after a stunned pause by Franz. Eric enters idly and observes them.
Why do we find ourselves descending into paradise, Dorothy?
It's that earthquake. Everything's topsy-turvy.
Dear Franz, relax yourself. It is only two poets come to sing for their suppers. Miss Parker, Mr. Count. I am Eric von Stroheim.
Dorothy flourishes with her cocktail shaker.
Can you spare a summer neighbor a cup of cocktails?
Franz, champagne.
Franz snatches away the rather tacky cocktail shaker, and the servants provide Dorothy and Noel with champagne.
Admirably done. I heard your whip crack.
Is this what Miss Swanson bathes in, or is it just the kitchen champagne?
It's rude to ask. Mine here, Stroheim. Your help. Don't I wish I had it.
We've rented the tourist attraction next door.
We felt the earth shake and dropped in to complain.
The truth is, we're both supposed to be writing movies.
Yeah, but all we've done is play anagrams with the producers' names.
I've been hired to write a film version of Hamlet. In 3 weeks, I've only convinced them not to call Great Dane.
I'm here to approve a film of one of my plays. They've replaced all of my epigrams with sight gags and are retaining only one preposition from my title. Will you give us a refuge?
Miss Swanson is to make a great announcement tonight. She will be elated to have such distinguished witnesses. Do come in.
It was my quiet dignity that got us past the guards.
Nonsense. He thought I was the Queen of England.
Please, refresh yourselves. I will seek out our hostess.
Human beings do not acquire this much space now that we walk upright. How do they pay for these oratoria?
Now, how do you think? She rents out skates.
Eric approaches the library and eavesdrops on the conversation in progress as Gloria talks to a fairly rapt Mary and Bill.
And so you see, this is the next step in artistic, even in human evolution. I shall star, Eric will direct, and you two will supply the backing.
Well, I feel like I done seen the picture. You should have been a poet.
I am. We all are.
Darling, it's a magnificent conception. But what about the studio? Won't it blackball us?
They'll lay their studios at our feet when they see how we outdo them.
I don't know. Sometimes people would rather fail alone than succeed in double harness.
Gloria, dear, I have to ask, since you so clearly believe so fully in this colossal project, why don't you back it yourself?
Alas, all my money went into investing in this castle and divesting myself of that prince. I pawned my jewels like Queen Isabella to discover this new world, but I'll need them for Camille's costume. I'm offering you to do what you long to do. Save the world, alter histories, make fortunes.
It's real tempting. Get back them studio crooks.
Be associated with an epic.
And
make a mother-lode mint!
So it's all sealed.
But just one tiny little single niggling thing, Gloria, darling. Camille has two leads. Who do you see playing her lover, Armand?
The only man who can. Rudolph Valentino. Yes.
And Eric has agreed?
Yes, absolutely. He
He what, honey?
He's not familiar with the sublime Valentino. He wants to examine him, and so he shall. In only moments, the great lover will arrive.
Bill?
Mary?
Gloria, darling, it's visionary to me, really it is, and it's so captivating. And if, at the end of the evening, Valentino agrees, and Eric still feels like it's a good idea, well, then, Bill?
Right, Mary.
I see. Yes, of course. You want security. Then you shall have it. Come. I see I have unexpected guests. Let's go and enjoy ourselves, like the gods on high Olympus.
Gloria graciously ushers them ahead of her to the library door.
Oh, fool that I am, I forgot.
What?
The most fun of all. There are two marvelous roles for you two and Camille. Camille's benevolent protectress and her handsome, rich lover, the Baron.
Mary and Bill are fascinated by this. With a sly smile and a wave of her fan, Gloria whisks past them to leave the library. Eric at the door applauds Gloria silently on.
But enough boring business. Come, enjoy the party. I will get their backing. I will have your services. I will acquire Valentino. I am not mad.
It is possible. It is not impossible.
Mary and Bill follow Gloria and Eric into the ballroom. Dorothy and Noel have walked near to May, who stands among fronds listening to the music.
How does she stay that white in this ceaseless sun?
I'll be sure she's white. They may have filmed a negress and shipped us the naked.
Is she actually trembling like a Pekingese, or is she just doing a very restrained shimmy?
She's doing whatever she likes, dear. She's the millionaire idol of idle millions.
How do these women make so much money?
By keeping silent, dear.
Cheese it. Here comes our hostess. Dear God, looks like they imported her from Europe, stone by stone.
Miss Parker, Mr. Coward, unexpected delights. Won't you come and join us?
Put back in the ashtray as you pocket it. One mustn't clank.
I'll put a stake in your heart if men had left you one. Princess. And the little princess.
Mary does the silly head shake.
Oh, damn.
Noel reaches for Bill's hand. Bill withdraws it wordly. Noel takes it and shakes it heartily.
Howdy, partner. Words cannot tell how pleased I am to be among my film favorites. Not even my words.
Oh, toss the piddle, Mr. Coward. I bet you ain't never seen a movie.
Half true. I attended the cinema exactly once. I spent the first half begging a matron in front of me to remove her hat, and the second half begging her to put it back. My head is yours for the taking, dear.
And that goes double for me, having two heads. Miss Swanson, we shouldn't have crashed your court like this.
Oh, but no, you couldn't be more welcome. I know your work. And I agree with you about all the films that have been made so far.
Hell, I never see movies neither.
It's that hat.
Will no one introduce me to this enchanting and apparently enchanted creature?
Give me. May, darling, this is the distinguished playwright Noel Coward.
I am dazzled.
You too?
And the esteemed wit, Miss Parker.
Mrs. Not that it matters. Much.
Where is your husband, dear?
Husband dear is in New York. Never trust a man who's 3 hours ahead of you.
Feels so inadequate. I've arranged no entertainment.
I've no doubt Mr. Coward will fill that gap.
Certainly, Captain, if it will pay for my passage.
How delightful. Franz, have we time?
Franz checks his watch and nods. He places chairs for all but Noel.
Hope I understand this.
Noel plays and sings.
The world has grown degenerate, from every towering minaret, muezzins cry, time's passed us by completely. And Darwin said ontogeny just imitates phylogeny, which dear papa thought put it rather neatly. Our efforts to revitalize the gods we used to idolize do not impress this idle wise terrestrial speck adept. And the most polite librarians, as every single Aryan tradition is barbarian or decadent. But admitting that we don't intend to suicide, how shall we spend time to the end? Regardless of what we decide, I want to be a major star in the movies. I want to play among the swaying palms. I want to linger making choices among my 6 Rolls Royces and commission scripts on the apocalypse. That's the sort of thing that calms my frenzies. Industry and business bring on dizziness. Why be in bondage to stocks? And bringing those ships into docks cannot compete with planting one's feet in sensitive cement blocks. I want to be a commissar of the movies. To back the lives of 6 ex-wives soothes all my qualms. Why drive your senses frantic, cabling the Atlantic? Be a Pacific and a terrific movie star. I've gotta be where people are of the movies, and the cinema of miraculous, and rule the cinema in a miraculous smell of ham. I want to go to hearty parties where the masculine Bill Hart is, and favor our curry with sweet Mae Murray in a house by William Cameron Menzies. Why drive a sick Ford? I'll woo Mary Pickford in one of my myriad yachts. All of the stars have lots, and the press will express our happiness in scandalous, candid shots. But there's no particular of the movies who doesn't fawn on Herr Stroheim night and day. And it would take great Samuel Johnson to divine the divine Miss Gloria Swanson. And my delight to be right where you are, the way I'm overpowered, should give the greatest coward the idea to see ya and be a movie star.
I got it! Doggone, Noel, that was swell. I didn't think no playwright could ever be such a regular feller.
Oh, I believe Oscar Wilde drank the cowboys under the table.
Drank and ate.
Mr. Coward, what lovely compliments. And what accurate humor, it was all true. That is what movies up until now have been. Something to laugh at, something to make fun of. But not after tonight, Eric. From tonight we shall elevate them beyond the highest art.
Yes, beauty. But alas, after tonight, there will be no use for our charming writer friend.
Eric, they won't know you're joking.
The earthquake was a ruse to bring us to justice.
Just as soon as we eat.
Just then, the doorbell rings. Gloria stiffens and drops her fan. Eric clutches her shoulders as if to keep her from falling.
The firing squad.
Franz rushes to the top of the stairs, out of sight. Gloria and her guests stroll to the foot of the stairs. Franz descends the stairs backwards, all but bowing to Rudolph Valentino, a breathtakingly handsome brunette in a flamboyant cape over the world's best tuxedo.
It's he.
Who?
Must be someone the way old Franz whipped up them stairs.
Eric, what's happening?
Please, please, everyone.
Inevitably, Rudolph Valentino.
Do you think you'll autograph my sidewalk?
Signor Valentino, welcome. You honor my poor house.
Raises, a monocle to his eye. Gloria takes Valentino's hand, and all go to a table lavishly decorated and set for dinner.
Want to bet what we get for dinner?
Obviously.
Roast
peasant.
To shimmering music that drowns out the party's chatter, the party sits to dinner. Spirits are high. Even May seems to relax a little bit. The party is seated thusly. Gloria at the head of the table, to her right Bill, to her left Valentino. At the foot of the table, Eric. On his left, May. On his right, Mary. Dorothy is between Mary and Valentino. Noel is between Bill and May. Eric, from here on out, whatever else he does, is watching Valentino scrupulously, at very crucial moments through his monocle. As the music subsides, we come on Mary in the middle of a story.
So, Pola, have you met Pola, Mr. Valentino? No? Well, Pola just hated her leading man, and during the big love sup, she put a beautiful expression on her face, but whispered in his ear that he could do something physiologically impossible to himself. When the movie opened, deaf-mute lip readers all over the country got her banned by the Legion of Decency.
Oh, Mary, tell. What did Paula say?
Oh, I can't tell you. I'll tell Eric, and he can tell you.
So, she whispers into Eric's ear. Eric falls and whispers to May. May laughs and turns to whisper to Dorothy, who slides quickly down in her seat to avoid the confidence. May whispers to Bill instead, who laughs and whispers to Gloria. Gloria laughs and turns to whisper to Valentino, who slides his chair back and offers her no. Noel, dying to hear, is disappointed when Gloria sits back in her chair with a sour face. Noel turns to Mary, who hides her face, and says,
No, I can't.
Well, Mr. Valentino, you sure have made yourself a hit. You never do know what the public's going to go for next. Who would ever have thought they'd want a man decked out in wigs and costumes and painted up?
Oh, Bill, you were decked out in those Western costumes until you could barely walk.
Oh, now, Mary, that's American costumes I was in.
And as for paint, well, you look so pretty in your lipstick and face powder.
Now, we had to wear that back in the early days just to have any faces at all.
And besides, even though you didn't ever kiss the girl, we all knew that you were secretly in love with your horse.
Mary, not in front of the younger set.
Why, you were so darn near as decadent as one of Eric's orgies that make the preachers so mad.
The producer objected to my spending $10,000 to buy silk and lace lingerie for all the women. And he said, it will not show on the screen. And I responded, only in the private version I am making for myself. Shall I send you a print? A toast to our honored guest. Mr. Valentino, I salute you.
Thank you. I am unaccustomed to such august attention.
Oh, come on. Come on, Rudy. Can I call you Rudy? You can't say you ain't been getting the press. Why, I never seen such press since back when polo was big.
In fact, Rudy, the way they photograph you, I have to confess that sometimes I almost think you are Pola.
Oh, but now don't be offended, Rudy. We all know an actor has got to sell a gimmick if he can. All this slick back hair, costumes, and powder and paint. Don't worry, we all know you're a regular feller at heart.
At heart, Mr. Valentino, I am sure that long before you were a star, you were accustomed to attention.
People have always been kind to me.
I am sure they have. Let us be frank. The world is what it is. Surely, a young man of your beauty has always excited the hearts of those who appreciate a fair face.
It is true that one has not been without admirers.
You seem strangely modest, most unusually. Usually a person blessed with beauty becomes insolent, romantic, exciting. I find none of these deplorable qualities in your personality.
Gloria looks sharply at Eric. What is he up to?
There are reasons for that.
A stern father, a saintly mother.
There is so snide a tone in Eric's voice that not only Gloria, but even Bill and Mary look a bit baffled.
I scarcely remember anything that long ago. Life has been so overwhelming.
Ah, but do tell us about it, dear boy. There must be so much that you long to express to someone.
May looked startled. She has heard this before.
It is hard to say. I know you all so briefly.
Nonsense! Here on Olympus, among gods, you may tell us anything. You may tell me, I say.
Oh no.
It is very difficult. I am so much admired. It is embarrassing of a person of any modesty.
No, come now. Surely it goes with the territory.
You have to put up with the fans.
I miss it even now.
Yes, of course, one endures the attention of the fan. One adopts the role that they desire because one knows it is, after all, the role that they are.
In love.
Yes, they think they are. They think you are the hero in the last movie that they saw you in.
Adored, you mean.
They do just adore us.
Adored one in.
Worshipped, one in.
Yes, adored, it seems. Worshipped, it seems.
Gloria is watching, wondering. May is watching, terrified, as Eric works his charm on Valentina.
Hard on such a simple lad.
It is disorienting.
One surely ripe with temptations. What does one do in the face of such demands? Such temptation?
One laughs at first. It seems almost silly what people see in one.
You refer to the romantic role the studio casts you in. Or
Yes, of course, the roles seem rather silly. Yes, of course. That is what I meant. The roles.
But is that all? Do you mean something more?
May shakes her head in protest and whispers.
No. No.
Sometimes, yes. There is something more.
Something more.
There is something more that people seem to see.
No, don't do it to him.
Ah, that people seem to see. There.
Well, in one, surrounding one, or perhaps it is not in oneself that they see it, perhaps it is in some dark,
Auditorium. Theater.
yes, some dark auditorium or theater in their souls. People seem to see one as something quite apart from oneself. It is absurd sometimes.
Sometimes
Yes, it is absurd sometimes. But at other times it is,
different.
yes, obscurely different.
Obscurely.
No, not obscurely, mysteriously, maddeningly, secretly different. Times when one is alone with someone, they seem to see something different from oneself.
They seem to see.
I don't know. In those most private, intimate moments when one has surrendered oneself, I speak too freely.
Oh, my dear young man, We have all entered bedrooms and found ourselves crucified upon our own images. You may speak freely.
It is all right when one knows what they want. When all they want are the roles one already knows how to portray. It is a game probably no more ridiculous than the games that are played in the most ordinary bedrooms by the merest...
Mortals.
What a word. By ordinary people.
Who have learned those games from us.
Yes, on me, I see you do understand. You must forgive me. I am not accustomed to such frank talk on such subjects, but yes, the games we play for the chimeras, which people learn from us and then want to play themselves. It is silly. It is harmless. It is nothing.
But then what troubles you?
Valentino looks about at the assembly. He's flustered, embarrassed, unsure. Obviously, he has never broached the subject before.
There are things, sometimes, that people seem to...
Want from you?
No! Not only to want, that would not be horrifying. What is horrifying is that they seem to find them. There is a thing that seems to happen in the dark when the person is with seems to receive, to experience something that is terrible, something that
Transforms them.
Elevates them.
that transfigures them because of some absurd accident that has given one the appearance, the face of...
Something godlike.
Yes? No. Shameful. Yes. Something almost godlike has happened to them. One looks into their eyes and sees oneself reflected there, but one has disappeared and been replaced by something, someone, something else. They have seen...
A god.
Oh, it is obscene, but yes. Yes, that is almost what seems to have occurred. I have laid in so many dark rooms, comforting strangers who are weeping with joy for the world that they have entered through me, and I know nothing of that world. I have stood before my mirror, looking if I'm there, and I have felt nothing.
And do you want to go into those dark, flickering rooms and be that god, that deity? Do you love to give to others that experience of being in the presence of a god?
No, I want to know it myself. I want to feel what I make others feel. I want to worship as I am worshipped. I want to love once as I am loved.
Gloria looks to Eric. Eric removes his monocle and polishes it. Gives Gloria a contemptuous stare and shakes his head firmly, mouthing, no. Bill and Mary also, with regret, shake their heads. Gloria is stunned.
What is going on?
God knows.
There is no God.
Oh dear.
Madam,
I told you no calls.
you will excuse me. I shall, if I may, go to your terrace and smoke a cigarette.
He bows formally and exits to the terrace. Gloria turns from looking after him to find everyone staring at her.
I am sorry, Gloria. A beautiful boy, to be sure. Sure to be very popular, but for what you want of him.
But you could do it. You of all people.
He can project longing, obviously. I think love is beyond him.
Give me an hour. I will show you. This is meant to be. He is inadequate. I will make him adequate.
Gloria!
You will excuse me. My home is yours. Make free.
Gloria exits to the terrace.
I must say, that was intense. What shall we play now?
No, you really should learn. Never, never land is not a commandment.
Poor Glory. She had her heart set on this.
They could make the movie anyway.
It does not suit their commercial images. The studio would not cooperate.
Things ought to be different.
Oh, Bill, come show me some rope tricks.
You can spare me, can't you? I long to go inventory the artifacts.
Noel rises and wanders away. Eric is left alone at the table, smoking, as servants begin to clear the dinner. By the pool, Valentino stands alone amidst a romantic arrangement of paper lanterns. Gloria carefully approaches.
Signor Valentino,
Madame,
I hope that you're well.
I have embarrassed you before your guests. I will go.
No, don't. You mustn't let the jocularity of my friends upset you. They want to be your friends too.
I am not so good with friends.
You don't understand our American way of teasing. I was the same in your country.
And so was I. I have never been one for the social life. I prefer to be doing something always.
Oh, I have been so thoughtless. Why don't we swim? Let's swim.
That would be wonderful, but your guests.
Everyone fends for himself here. Come, there are bathing suits in there.
It would be lovely.
And that's what we'll do. Come, what do they know? I understand you. Perhaps a little. I too, if it would not be immodest of me to say so.
Yes, please, speak.
I too have known something of what it is to feel worshipped, adored, idolized, if you could believe that.
But of course, all of the world knows your beauty.
Yet, to feel so lonely, empty, uncompleted.
Yes, of course, you would know you are not like the others.
Perhaps not. But I think perhaps I might possibly be in some small ways like you.
Oh, you make my heart leap. To be understood.
To be understood. Yes, that would be everything.
Oh, yes. Come, let us swim. Let us be like two innocent children, forgetting all of this.
Meaning?
Yes, come, let's go. Where? Where?
Here. Follow me.
She takes his hand and they run like children to the back house. Meanwhile, in some basement or other, Dorothy sits on a stool at a bar in a room decorated like a South Sea saloon, drinking. Noel appears at the door.
Aloha.
This is the 17th bar I've encountered in this solid. How many bars does it take to make up a prison?
One, if you work it right.
May I come in and gather some local color? I'm writing a book called Around the World by Tramp Steamer.
Come right in, Mr. Steamer. May I call you Tramp?
All the best people do. Well, the Austrian director is meditating in the Florentine ballroom. The man of the West is demonstrating rope tricks to America's sweetheart in a Japanese pavilion. The Merry Widow is having a nervous breakdown in the French gardens. And the god and goddess of love are a Pompeian swimming pool. What's playing here in Honolulu?
Hamlet contemplates suicide.
You're very quiet.
I'm not speaking to myself. Hamlet toasts the ghost and downs the hatch.
You're all talk. How can they turn a book of yours into a film?
How does one turn anything into a film? By spreading it very, very thin.
They do seem to squeak by without us, don't they?
In Hollywood, to coin a phrase, the word is out. They get paid for not talking, like blackmailers.
I know I should resent that, but I can't help thinking
That doesn't pay any better than writing.
that there is a certain poetry in their shadow shows. There are, after all, very few things that people actually do. We stand, sit, lie, walk, run, crawl.
And drink is good for us, if we know what's good for us.
And the silent cinema reduces all of the complexities of life to those few rudimentary reflexes. Kiss, kill, coddle.
Rape, pillage, and foreclose.
And yet, even as we writers sink here in the West, I find I pity a generation brought up purely on pantomime. Those few things people do are so repetitious, So boring.
Rape and pillage never pall.
And it is the only style, it is only the style of the great poets. Shakespeare, Homer, Milton, Moses.
Irving Berlin. God, I love that
That
man.
give poor little life any meaning at all. I weep not only for us as they bar us from paradise, but for them in a world of gestures without any meaning at all.
Not that I don't relish our growing closeness, but why aren't they filming you in Britain?
Only Americans can make movies. The British was between film and fog.
Speaking of fogs, I told my producer that Hamlet had an Oedipus complex. He said, a boy is always smart to get into real estate.
I told mine we should do a film about Socrates, and he asked me, what are Socrates?
So do you think the princess from Pittsburgh will succeed in making Rudolph Vaselina?
There's no forecasting Americans in love. You celebrate St. Valentine's Day with a massacre.
Love should be so simple. A loves B, B loves A. They roll around on each other and spell A-B, B-A, A-B-B-A, B-A-B-A. But there are all those other letters waiting in line, and the thing turns into alphabet soup. I envy the Babylonians. They had no vowels.
How do you go on?
Well, if you can be Peter Pan, I can be Wendy.
What are we doing in this illiterate Eden?
Trying to present a moving target to the little boy with the arrows. Now, on the train coming out here, I wrote a hateful movie about Broadway. On the train back, I'll write a hateful play about Hollywood. It's a living. Your turn.
I'm running from bigger boys with bigger arrows. I wish to understand this curious beast, America, and Hollywood seems to be its heart.
Or some part bloody and beating.
If I could comprehend the film industry, I think I should have a grip on the USA.
Fate has sent me to you. It's simple. The film industry consists of Jewish producers in California trying to convince Catholic bankers in New York that they know which fantasies will sell to Protestant farmers in Nebraska.
The only great religion omitted is Muslims.
They have something better.
What?
Hashish.
Gesundheit.
The poolside. Gloria and Valentino in floodwear are lying breathless by the pool.
That was wonderful. The world seemed so far away, as far as that moon.
Yes, we do seem truly to be the only man and woman in the world, don't we?
No, the only two children.
Yes, I forgot.
Wouldn't that be beautiful?
We grew up, we could found a very good-looking new race.
No, I would not wish on anyone the curse of beauty. We must stay children forever and never know the agony of love.
Would you really rather you had never known it?
I never have known it. Only the reflection of it in others' eyes, like something reflected backwards in a mirror.
I've never known it either.
You? Surely you have had all the men in the world longing for you.
Isn't it strange? You are the only one who could understand me. And you too would turn me into an image.
No, I am sorry.
To think I once wanted this prison, this isolation, this fame.
In my country, people are very poor. Often there is not enough to eat. When the children cry because their stomachs are empty, their mothers go to the riverbed and dig fresh, clean clay. And they feed this clay to their children. There is no nourishment in it, but it fools the empty void within them, and they sleep. This fame is like that. It feels like love, it looks like love, it feels for a moment in the emptiness, but there is no nourishment in it. It is false, it is a lie, it is not love.
No, it is not love. Somehow one knows it, though one has never known love.
Yes, it feels like the love one dreams of, the love one sees others enjoying, but it is not. It is nothing. It is worse than nothing. It is heavy, it is worthless, and it is not even clean.
We have suffered so much, you and I. We have given so much to other people and received nothing in return. We understand one another so well, so very well. No one else could understand me. No one else could understand you. No one else could understand this terrible need we feel. No one else could ever satisfy it. Oh, my darling, Why shouldn't we give each other?
Please, no!
Oh, don't be afraid. I want you. I need you. I am yours.
No, please, you have misunderstood.
I can give. I can show. I can bring that true love to you. I can bring that light of love in your eyes.
I beg you, do not humiliate yourself.
For you, I would risk any humiliation. I would do anything. Oh, let me worship you all.
No, not again. Everywhere I go, the same madness, the same longing, the same evilness. No, no, no.
He flees, grabbing his clothes and running up the stairs to the terrace and into the house. She weeps by the pool, hysterical.
No, please.
Within,
I need you. I must have you. You don't understand. What have I done? Stay. Please, please, please.
Valentino, clutching his clothes, runs in from the terrace, across the stage, and off. May tremblingly finds a hiding place among the plants. Now, Gloria enters in bathing costume, trailing her towel, gives Eric a glance of death, exits. Mary and Bill enter from one direction, just as Dorothy and Noel emerge from another entrance. Bill, Mary, Noel, and Dorothy look back and forth to each other for explanations. None is forthcoming. They all look to Eric. He shrugs, monumentally. Then, I love this part, Gloria re-enters in a stunning hostess gown and a turban to cover her wet hair. She looks like a shimmering princess.
Forgive me. I'm afraid I've neglected my guests.
She accepts champagne from Franz.
To runaway princess movies and great hopes drowned like starlets in the pool.
And just then, of course, Franz approaches Gloria.
Madam,
I said no calls and I meant it. No. Wait. Yes. Why not? I'll take the call.
it is not a call, madam, but callers. Madam has other guests.
What are the guests?
It is Miss Pola Negri, madam, and a friend.
She? Pola.
Thought you two were feuding.
I can't believe this.
Gloria stalks to the foot of the stairway, followed by Bill and Mary, and a bit behind, Noel and Dorothy.
Eric, it's wrong with these beautiful people.
We are being filmed for psychiatric research.
Pola descends the stairs. She is perhaps older, less coldly beautiful than Gloria. She is the image of a passionate gypsy, a truly frightening apparition who would look foolish were she less arrogant and regal. A figure walks behind her, concealed. Gloria and Pola both open their mouths to speak, but Eric steps in front of Gloria.
Hola! Surely the world is moaning in sorrow when all its gods have deserted it to gather here.
Yes, of course. Pola, darling.
She steps forward to take Pola's hand. Bill and Mary visibly relax.
How wonderful to see you. Won't you come into the great hall and have champagne with us? I fear our little celebration has ended, is over.
Unnoticed by anyone but Franz, May flees outside.
We shall drink to memories and to what might have been. Won't you come?
Pola stands resolute and enigmatic on the stairs. Above, the increasingly irritated Gloria, her companion still hidden.
She looks like a gypsy.
Want your palm read?
If I wanted my palm read, I'd run it through her hair.
I hope I have not seemed inhospitable, but you see, one of my guests has become somewhat indisposed, and
Unexpectedly, Valentino emerges, flawlessly re-tuxedoed and in complete self-control of himself.
Not at all, madame. I regret to have caused you concern. I am so pleased on an already memorable evening to encounter yet another compatriot of such distinction.
Signore Valentino. I have done better work than I knew.
This puzzling remark causes some blinking of eyes in the party.
It is marvelous that you are here. For someone with me who longs to know you. Mesdames and messieurs, allow me to introduce my protege.
Pola steps aside to reveal Ramon, a startling clone of Valentino.
Ramon Navarro. Recently signed by the studio under my protection.
Valentino stands staring at his double. Ramon stands a step above Pola, shyly smiling. Valentino steps forward. He ascends past Gloria to stand a step below Ramon. Ramon and Valentino gaze at one another. Pola smiles.
Senor Navarro, it is so good to meet you.
It is an honor I could not have hoped for.
It taught you to speak like that at the studio.
Pola Negri taught me.
And very well, very well. But you need not concern yourself with correctness here. We are all equals, all friends here. Please speak as you feel.
Well, golly, if I was going to do that, I'd just be tongue-tied. In all my wildest dreams, I never dared to dream that I'd ever actually meet you.
Is that true?
Well, no. No, in my wildest dreams, that's just what I did dream.
You see how easy it is once one realizes one can speak? How easy it is to say just what one feels.
During this exchange between Ramon and Valentino, Eric raises his monocle into place, a gesture not lost on Gloria.
But just a few months ago, I was running a gas pump.
I was a gardener once.
I delivered packages.
I was a carpenter.
I entertained at parties.
I was a gigolo.
Like in the song?
Like in this song. We have so much to tell each other.
Valentino takes Ramon's hand and begins to lead him away. The party gives for them. Without the least self-consciousness, utterly, easily, and naturally, Valentino and Ramon stroll away into the ballroom, then to the terrace, where they encounter May, returner from the grounds. She stares at them, bewildered. They do not even notice her. They wander away into the grounds. May stands staring after them until her re-entrance into the ballroom later, her feathers fluttering in the breeze.
You fiend! Why have you done this?
Done what? What have I done? I have introduced another star into the firmament. This is an act of merit, to be admired. What star is so unselfish? Where is my champagne?
You abuse all the privileges of a guest. You flout the precepts of our profession. You are an abomination.
To so berate a guest. If there were members of the press here, but they're raw headlines.
You expect me to exercise taste in the face of your offense? What do you want here?
Want, respect, companionship, relaxation, admiration, perhaps congratulation for my good fortune.
What good fortune?
Why, Gloria, I am to have a dream come true. One of those girlish dreams we shared when we were bathing you.
What dream? Which dream?
Our greatest dream, Gloria. Camille.
You wouldn't. You couldn't.
I'm going fast.
It does you credit.
We confuse and bewilder our friends.
Your friends know all your dreams, Pola.
Everyone here knows our dreams, and that my dreams are greater than yours. You cannot do this thing.
Neither of us can do it, Gloria, and it will be me.
It will not.
It will! I start tomorrow. Everything is prepared, and not my leading man.
Gloria starts forward, murder in her eyes.
Don't stop!
At Eric's command, Gloria freezes.
Is this war in heaven, Gloria? Is this what the world will imitate?
Gloria stands, a statue of icy rage. Then she relaxes. There is now a calm certainty in her manner.
You will not do this thing, Pola, because you cannot. You will not make Camille.
Pola drops her jaw in surprise.
When she is portrayed, I will portray her, and not you. We were ruthless girls, but we dreamed of becoming something better. And we almost succeeded. And that almost became imprinted on your face, and you became the greatest tragic player of the screen. Your failure was your success, while I learned to hide my failure and become the image of success. That success, my failure. But in our hearts, we held the dream of those two savage animal girls. The dream of portraying the dream. The slut who becomes a saint. But Pola, what we wanted was not only to portray it, but to make it true. You know that you could not bear to see it falsely done. Look at our faces. Which do you want to see up there shining in the dark as the savior? Your true tragic face that cannot tell a lie? Or my perfect false face that is capable of anything?
Eric turns his monocle onto Gloria.
Anything, I tell you. Anything!
Pola sits on the stairs, her face awash with tears. She allows Mary to dry her eyes.
Oh, take it. No one but you could have known what stones to move to uncover my poor heart. You have not.
At least no one knows how to uncover it. Least of all I.
Gloria sits beside Pola.
But Paula's dear and only friend. You have no reason to be sad. You have not failed, darling. You have become the goddess of failure. Now come, dear friends. Come, all of us, and let me at last make my great announcement.
All enter the ballroom. Even May enters from the terrace and is swept up in the revelry. Gloria laughs and toasts with each guest in turn. She is merry, dances a little jig, picks up a feather fan, and parades.
Ladies and gentlemen, deities and mortals, Olympians and others, hear me. I have tonight the direst announcement to make. There is forthcoming, out of the womb of time, awesome immensities of space, out of the charred ruins of human history, there is forthcoming the greatest masterwork, the finest achievement, the most majestic message, the New Testament. I will undertake the greatest role under the aegis of the only director.
Eric is distraught. He shakes his head, no. Bill and Mary are worried. Pola is mesmerized.
But alas, I will not play it yet, for the womb of time has not quite kept its promise. It will come, but it has not yet. I must freeze my face forever, in hopes that time will deliver at last Armand. And in the meantime, I must beg forgiveness with all humility of one whom I have treated so wretchedly.
Pola looks up, expecting that she is the one Gloria speaks of, looking out through the terrace window, where there approaches a silhouetted, slim, tuxedoed figure.
Before you all, I beg his forgiveness for having placed too heavy a burden on the mortal shoulders of
She grasps the arm of the entering tuxedoed figure.
the luminescent Rudolph Valentino.
Madam, forgive me. I am the other one.
Oh, no, Ramon. We are one. We must be one. We are forever one.
Gloria is thunderstruck as she observes Valentino and Ramon blazing at each other as at a mirror. But Eric, struck as if by lightning, gazes at Valentino, his face transfigured by love.
Valentino.
Valentino, his face still as radiant, starts to turn to Eric.
No! Do not look at me. Look at Ramon. That expression on your face. And Ramon, step away. Approach here.
They do as Eric says. Gloria replaces Ramon. Gloria and Valentino face each other. Eric slips the monocle into place.
Yes, Gloria. It is possible. It is inevitable.
A strange madness seizes everyone. The music swells. The guests toast and laugh, and embrace and dance. Even Pola is swept up in the inexplicable glee. Gloria and Valentino parade, shaking everyone's hands.
Camille und Armand in their happiness.
You have your revenge, dear sister. I shall have only the dream, not the real. Heaven is hell. I shall play Camille and the world will be saved. But I will not be victorious. I will only be, forever, the mere emblem, the mere goddess of victory.
Gloria, it is possible. It is possible. Everything you have predicted for the world is possible. It is even possible that you are not mad.
Gloria falls upon Eric's bosom, a child in the arms of her father. The doorbell rings. All faces look about, shocked from their magic spell. Franz leaves the room. Mary and Bill, then May, come to congratulate Gloria. Ramon joins them. It looks like a wedding party. Noel and Dorothy hang out in a corner, understandably perplexed. Franz appears in the doorway.
Madam, the head of the studio.
Jack, dignified, paternal, in a business suit, enters. He's followed by a chauffeur and equipment. Even as Gloria and her party rush forth to greet Jack, the chauffeur is shoving past Franz to set up this equipment, directing the dispersal of the potted plants and the band, and arranging the chairs for the party and Jack to watch the film.
Jack, what an unqualified blessing to have you here. Oh, here, wine for our father.
Jack shoves aside wine offered by Franz.
Come, sit down. A throne for our lord and master.
Jack ignores the offered throne.
Jack, I don't believe you know Dorothy and Noel.
Court jesters.
No one courts jesters.
Writers are you?
Jack, we have been making a present for you. The most wonderful present you have ever been offered. Oh, I don't know which of us should tell you.
Good evening, children. Gloria, I phoned several times. I took the liberty of coming because I have something of the utmost importance to tell you. Eric, May, Bill, Mary, Rudy, Ramon, Hola. This will affect all of you.
You have something for us? Well, this is a conjunction of wonders. Shall we draw lots to see who gives their present first?
All right, I don't want to divert your party for long. Hans, are we ready?
The chauffeur, Hans, signals yes.
All right then. If you'll be so polite as to take your seats, we'll begin.
All sit worriedly. At a signal from Hans, lights dim. Out of the darkness comes a picture on the screen, and then sound.
Climb upon my knee, honey boy. Though you're only 3, honey boy. There's a way of knowing, there's a way of knowing what you mean to me, honey boy.
As the lights come up and the film ends, the sound sequence ends with Jolson saying, "You ain't heard nothing yet." As the lights come up and the film ends, Hans dismantles the film equipment and starts to move it out.
I see sound has left you speechless. Tremendous, isn't it? It's grossing millions nationwide. This will revolutionize the film industry. I want everyone in my office tomorrow. We have to talk. Oh, and Eric, I've called your company. All current productions are suspended. We have to talk about The Merry Widow.
Unnoticed by the preoccupied people around her, May stands trembling.
You writers, have your agents call me. We should talk. Now I want you all to get some sleep tonight. I'll see you tomorrow. We have to talk.
There is a rumble of earthquake which grows out of the echo of Jack's words. We have to talk, we have to talk, we have to talk. May staggers up out of her chair and goes to the terrace and off stage, unnoticed by the quiet, brooding party. Jack exits with Hans. We hear his car start and leave. Franz is the first to move. He exits and returns with cloaks, coats, hats. The guests depart. They greet Gloria one by one, if greet is quite the word for their stunned, silent confrontations. Franz hands them their wraps. The parade of guests out of the great hall and up the stairs ought to look like the slow death march from the dinosaurs in Disney's Fantasia. That is, except for the faces of Noel and Dorothy with Bean. They are the last to come to see Gloria.
Good night, dear lady. I enjoyed it. more than I can say.
Words fail us.
Dorothy and Noel rush to catch the departing crowd. Eric is the last to go. He pauses as if remembering that he had something with him, then shrugs and starts up the stairs. Franz is left with May's rat. Gloria sits alone. Franz, carrying May's rat, wanders about looking for her. He exits to the terrace and off. Gloria alone raises her head. Enters, carrying poor dead May's body, her feathers wet and dripping. Gloria wanders downstage to the terrace, barely noticing Franz exit with the body. She finds a glass of champagne and stares at it as we begin to hear sirens off. Franz appears beside her.
Madam,
Everything was quite perfect, Franz.
Quite perfect, madam.
Everything was perfect. Everything was possible.
Instructions for tomorrow, madam?
Tomorrow? Tomorrow the world will start to fall apart. All possibility of peace destroyed. Language, which can lie, will again become the coin of the realm. 100 different languages, 1,000 different lies. 1,000,000 ancient stars. 1,000,000 billion more years like the trillion years. We had our chance. We failed. The tower of truth will fall before a filthy flood of sound.
Sirens sound louder as Gloria leaves the stage. Franz makes gestures which cause the lights to go out as sirens howl louder and louder. Heard.
You did a great job.
We did the church on